Is it me you're looking for? We're gonna do a live stream, We're gonna do a live stream. Oh snap, come into the chat and hang out with me. We're gonna talk about some Instagram tips. It's gonna be so fun. Who's excited to come hang out with me on the internet? It's live, it's not planned, let's do this. Super excited. Yeah. Oh my god, Dina, is this how you start all your live streams? Maybe, I don't know. Feels right. All right, welcome. Hi, I'm Dina. What's up, Elisa? How are you? Welcome. Welcome to the live stream. My dogs are just gonna adorably lick each other in the background. I hope that's cool. Today, I'm doing an impromptu live stream that is free to the public. So guys, get on that Twitters. The Twitter ship? Yeah, get on the Twitter ship. Get on the Instagram ship. Fucking pass this link around to your friends if they also need help with their color schemes, because today is gonna be awesome. All right. Should we just get into it? I'm excited. Okay. So today is gonna be a lot of different things we're gonna learn. We're gonna be best friends. It's gonna be all types of awesome. I'm really excited. What's up, Jake Olson? Welcome to the live stream. All right, so yo Dina. Yo Dina, ding, sing more. Oh, inking's ink. You're just so cool. All right, are you ready? Are you ready? All right, let's talk about colors. I'm excited. I'm still figuring out my screen situation. I'm fine. Everything's great. I'm the public. All right, so I was gonna originally do a live stream of just kind of like an impromptu hanging out, because this is the piece that I'm working on. Sorry that I stopped talking to you. My anxiety told me you hated me. Come on. If you have not thought this as well, I don't know if we can be friends. I swear to God, if someone like doesn't return my text message in like a realistic, normal amount of time, I'm like, oh, they must not want to be my friend anymore. Or like, I just take everything so personally, even though I evoke this confident swagger that I so do not have in real life. And I was like, oh, this week I learned something really cool where I was trying to figure out this whole color palette thing. And for my patrons, I did talk about it a little bit in an article. And if you guys are interested in getting more articles and educational information from me, definitely just give me a follow on patreon.com/lettershop. It's free. You don't even have to give me $1 or anything. And I go ahead and I give you all the goods. But I thought, let's do a live stream. Let's make this interesting. Okay. So for my account, these are the colors that I chose because I was getting frustrated for a lot of different reasons. I would look at my Instagram, and if I didn't plan it perfectly, like one picture would be next to another picture and it would look all wrong and I would feel like weird about it and I'd have to archive it to make it look better or something like that. And then I realized I was doing that a lot. Or I would use like purple a little bit too much or green a little bit too much, and it just stood out my grid. And I'm just getting really crazy about it because Instagram is so important for artists. Obviously, it's no longer a matter of like, oh, Instagram could help your business. It's gotten to the point where like, if you don't take Instagram seriously, no one's going to take your art business seriously. So it's like, oh fuck, another thing I have to do. So we might as well be good at it, right? And we all feel the pressure of the Instagram. But the good news is we're putting that pressure on ourselves for the most part, right? Because the majority of the people you're following are probably all these like hotshot artists that you're super fucking jealous of. And every time you open the app, you're guaranteed to feel bad about yourself by the end of that. But you still go back for more because it's inspiration. But there is a really big difference between inspiration and something that's just not healthy. That's just making you feel really green with envy. So all these things like, oh, this post didn't get enough likes or I didn't get enough engagement, that's really not as big of a deal as you think of, because the main thing, the number one thing that we need to be thinking about when it comes to Instagram is how many times is someone clicking on my link in bio? Because again, Instagram is just supposed to be an advertising channel. That's it. It's an advertising channel, guys. It's like getting an ad and putting it in a newspaper. The whole point of Instagram is to grow a following so that way you can eventually what? Make money. Make money, right? You either want to get clients or you want to sell a product or you just want to sell yourself. And a lot of us are just still taking Instagram as like a hobby, and it's kind of like getting our pinky toe, just dipping it into the pool of like, okay, I'm going to start showing other people my sketchbook. And you're just really just trying to get more comfortable putting yourself out there. But probably eventually, I think all of us can say, I like money and I want to make money with my art. That's the dream, right? So again, try not to just be like, oh, Instagram. I'll help you figure it out. I do have a course that's coming up that starts next month. I have 50 students only. I'm doing this really weird thing. It's a completely live stream class. It's going to look something very similar to this. I'm going to be opening up Photoshop file, right? It's going to be really fun. I'm really excited about it. And we'll be able to answer any questions you guys might have about that upcoming course. But today, we're talking about color. So in order for us to really truly figure out this whole Instagram thing, let me give you some examples. Are we ready? Okay. So I'm going to show you my Instagram. You've probably seen it before. Whoa. Is there a ghost in my fucking what? That was weird. All right, hold on. This just fell. Just randomly fell. I put this on auction today. I swear to God I didn't plan this. It just fell because this is right now on auction. You guys would like to purchase this original piece of artwork. Oh yeah. That's available right now. Okay, anyways. Back to what I was saying. So if you look at my Instagram, right? So right here, you're like, okay, this is a nice color palette. But as you scroll down, it's like, okay, she's using green a lot here. Like these 2 rows are just green. And then it's like purple and like spots of pink. And even though the style is starting to get there, right? Like, oh, it's a person, it's lettering. There's some consistency happening here. The colors are kind of fucking all over the place. They're a little bit crazy. And then here I was like trying to go for like a cooler color scheme, just trying to experiment. And it was looking okay, but there's little things like, oh, I didn't plan out my grid and I had 3 pieces with a white background in a row and all this other stuff. So what I want you guys all to do, try to get some of these basics kind of covered here for how to figure out a color scheme for your art. Because I know a lot of us feel boxed in if we use a color scheme, like, oh, I'm only going to use pastels, or I'm only going to use warm tones, or I'm just going to use these like 3 colors over and over again. Do not do that. Don't do that for a lot of reasons. Don't do it, number one, because you're going to hate yourself. You're going to be like, I'm bored as fuck. I really need to use green. I did not plan for this green, and now it's going to break my color scheme. It's like a whole thing. It's way easier if you just, first of all, open your mind about the amount of colors you want to add to your color scheme, and really think about why you're using those colors. We're going to get artsy fartsy. I'm super excited about it. Okay. So look at your Instagram right now. Pull it up on your phone, pull it up on your computer, fucking look at that bitch. And I want you to start writing down, what are some of these things that you're seeing that are in common on your feed? Not just colors, but just anything. Is there a certain message that you're gravitated towards? Is there a certain kind of subject matter? Maybe you're really into feminism, or you're really into sports, or you don't really have a subject matter theme. That might be the first problem. And just look at and write down everything that you see in common. So using my own Instagram right now as an example, the kind of things that I'm seeing in common, okay, like bright colors, definitely a lot of script, definitely a hand lettering artist, going from much more of like it's kind of sexy. There's a lot of like really pretty women on here. We got 2 girls looking something pretty phallic. We see weed. There's definitely like 3 weed pieces in a row right here. It's very kind of has like that comic book kind of indie vibe. So regardless if you think there's a theme happening in your Instagram, there is. You just might not notice it. So I think it's really important to kind of look at it and see what you have in common. And then also write down the things that you fucking hate about yourself. Not about your personality, that's for another topic or time, but also thinking about like what in your grid do you dislike, right? Because you could do like one thing, you're like, oh, I kind of feel weird about it, and archive it and not remember it ever again. It's way more helpful if you write the things that you don't like down, so that way you remember them. So that way when you're, creating content and you're curating it for your Instagram, you have that extra moment of like, wait, I remember that I remember like the work I've been doing, it's been too small. It's been too delicate and too fucking decorative for Instagram because I'm looking at this from a phone. Now that I know that and I wrote it down, I won't make that same mistake again. Because then we're just doing the same things over and over and over again, expecting different results. And all we're really changing is like the hashtags we're using. And the problem always starts with your fucking work and how you're presenting it, more so than your captions or your hashtag strategy. Because I know everyone's like, new followers, I want more followers, I want 100,000 followers, I want 1 million followers, I want to finally hit 100 followers, whatever it is. You're not going to gain those followers until you can keep the ones engaged that you already have. Let's just sit on that for a minute. Let's just think about it. All right, so we're doing the homework assignment. Keep writing it down. What do you like and what you don't like about your grid? So what we're going to do is I want a few of you that are chilling, that are here for the live stream because you're so fucking cool. I want you to go ahead and just write down your handle. Don't put a link in the chat. It'll get deleted. Just your handle into Instagram, and I'll pull up like 2 to go ahead and check out, and then we can kind of review and see if we can find some themes together. It must have sold. It must have sold. No one even bid on it yet. It's so sad. I've been doing these Friday auctions for like 3 weeks. This is the 3rd week I've done it, where I'll make like an original piece of artwork, and then I'll be like, okay, the bidding starts at $20. And then people will bid, and whoever has the highest bid in the first 24 hours gets it. Not one single person. This took so long to make. It's fucked up. I like messed up the first one. My pen exploded on it, so I had to do it again. It was a whole thing. But that's okay. I'll just keep it. It's for me. I didn't make it for you guys. It's a good phrase. Life is too short to not love the shit out of yourself. Advice we could all live by. Thank you for that, Dina. I'm building a immunity to the whole Instagram post fear. Yeah, you really have to. It's super important. Pokes head in. What's up? Hey, how you doing, baby girl? Talking about Instagram. You gotta run. All right, bye, Jake. Sure. All right. We're only gonna look at people's stuff that are here. So let's go ahead and look at Beauty for the Soul. Gina XO. Let's pull her up here. Boop. I just keep showing you my color palette in the background because I don't want my face to be all like, ah! All right, let's look at Gina's stuff. Okay, so things in common. Things in common, well, first of all, it's you. You like to show pictures of yourself, your life, your dog. You have a couple of pieces here that are curated. So this makes me think that you're artsy, but you yourself aren't an artist. You like really bright colors, so we're thinking like rainbow color schemes. That seems to be the thing you keep gravitating towards, is rainbow colors, really bright colors, something that always has like a pink, a blue, and a red in it, and with pops of yellow. You're a reader. I'm like really scrolling. I know when people tend to scroll more than like 3 times, people start to cringe. They're like, don't look at the stuff I posted 3 months ago. It's different. I was a different person then. I'm so much wiser now. Yeah. Aw, this is the cutest. Aw, everyone should just have colored hair, guys. It just makes everyone, and also unicorn ears. Unicorn ears just make everyone look adorable. Like, who needs filters when you can just like put a little hat on? All right, cool. So this definitely to me doesn't scream like you're an artist. It just looks like a personal Instagram. So this was something you were wanting to like, okay, maybe you've just been dabbling. And then we've talked before on Instagram, like just dabbling into art, but you're not like quite, I could tell you're not like quite ready to put yourself out there yet. So I think the Instagram class is going to be really helpful for you because it's all about just getting a lot of work done in a really short time by like not feeling the pressure to necessarily make an illustration every day, but just post something that's relative to your core message. And in the first class, we figure out what that fucking core message even is in the first place. Because a lot of us are just like, that was a cool quote, I thought I'd draw it. Or like, that was a pretty girl on the internet, so I thought I'd draw her. There's not really much thought, it's just fun. But at least we'll be able to like start to organize some of those thoughts. So for you, if you're thinking about your color palette, I would go ahead and just literally just start to pull in colors that you start to see repeatedly. There is this website. Here, I'm going to remember what it is. That's really cool. Where is it? What the art? Don't look at it. All right, Color Cooler, which is really nice. So if I go ahead and I put your username in here in colorcooler.com, what it will do is it'll pick like colors it sees repeatedly in your grid and go ahead and pick it out for you. So it's saying, oh, you're a dark gray, and these are kind of like more of the colors that you're predominant in your piece, in your work. This is really helpful because I did it and I didn't like any of the colors. I didn't like any of the fucking colors that came up. I was like, like, no, that's not good. That's not good. So this could be a really good test to see if the color palettes you have are working, or it could be a really good starting point for picking out a color palette. And I think it's important to figure out what's the general impression of your work. If you have a lot of like low contrast, really dark photos, that doesn't really scream professional. It's really all about lighting and contrast when it comes to your colors. Are you using the kind of colors where I can actually see the foreground away from the background? Do you have good enough lighting when you're taking photos of yourself, your work, whatever, your dog, that I can actually like make out the details? Do you need to be going outside more often to take these photos? Do you need to go ahead and reset up your desk in your living situation so that way you can take pictures near like a natural lit window that gets a decent amount of sun throughout the day? These are the things you need to start thinking about. Something as simple as just like creating better compositions by taking pictures with your phone can seriously make such a huge difference. Or what a lot of people do, which I'm sure you've noticed, is people, speaking of lighting, I got a clicker. Are we thinking red? Are we thinking yellow? No, let's just do white. All right. I just want everything to be a little bit more consistent. All right, who else? Who else can we torture? I have way too many interests and I feel like I'm all over the place. I'm all blue and gray. Interesting. Yeah, you've been dabbling only here and there and have zero branding. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, who else? Who else wants to get their stuff looked at? All right, we got K Motion Design. Let's look at Kate's stuff. K Motion. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, we have official art. Official art has started. I don't know why I closed the color. Well, you can do it. Okay, so Kate, you like, it's interesting because I wouldn't use the word bright colors to describe it. It almost looks like more toned down colors. Like you have a bright color against a less saturated color. Like this green is somewhat bright, but I wouldn't call it necessarily saturated, where the purple is more like muted in the background, which is what you should be doing. You like really simple color palettes. You tend to only use maybe 1 to 3 colors per piece. Yeah, so for you, like your colors like do look a little all over the place, but I think if you just went ahead and actually started to pull in colors that you use more often and just tweak them a little bit, I think that would really help you. Because I'm seeing like really, really high saturation against muted colors. And that's a really good idea. Like when you're thinking about the colors from your Instagram, don't just think about like, okay, these are all colors that look good together. No, you need to create rules for how you use those colors, right? And then if there's anything specifically about your grid that you don't like in terms of color, composition, just really anything, go ahead and write those things down so you can start to kind of get a good feel for it. Yeah. Okay, so let's get into, catch up on the chat. My color scheme. So you've been looking at it. It's been in the background. It's been in the background for a little bit. So these are the colors that I decided to go with, and I created rules that go along with these colors. So that way I can very easily illustrate kind of like my point with pieces. Because I always felt really frustrated with color. I always felt like I needed to steal someone else's color palette from like Dribbble or Instagram or something. And I found that I wasn't really thinking about why I was using those colors as much as, oh, this is a pretty color palette. And I think that's the biggest issue as an artist, especially in, you know, living in the day and age of social media, is we're so much more concerned with what other artists think about our work that we're not even thinking about like a normal demographic of an audience. You know what I mean? Like, we're so consumed, and because we're consuming all of this other artist content, that it makes sense that we're creating content for other artists. It's just, it's cyclical. Of course that's gonna fucking happen. But that's a huge fucking problem, because artists are the most judgmental people when it comes to art. So you're literally trying to attract an audience that's picky as fuck and probably won't like your work unless you've already been like a seasoned professional for the past 10 years. You know what I mean? Did that just blow a couple people's minds? Just like, what you need to be doing is you need to figure out a broader audience. Think about the kind of interests you have that are outside of art. Maybe you're really into working out. Maybe you really love to cook. Maybe you're just a fucking couch potato, but you love fucking sci-fi and you're all about that shit. Or whatever. And really try to think of, hi, I could probably increase my following and be able to attract the right kind of people if I have a broader audience to attract versus other lettering artists or other illustrators or other character designers. Because that is a theme, my friends. That is a subject matter that you can be creating work for. Because when you're just making art for other artists, there's nothing really you're benefiting from that. Unless you're the kind of person that's like me and you're creating educational content for artists, you're barking up the wrong tree, my friends. What you need to be doing is you need to create a social media strategy that is social proof. That social proof is, hey, I am able to illustrate something that resonates with people, because that's exactly what clients are looking for. Because if you can prove to them that you already know how to do it for yourself, if you can market yourself to a certain audience, you could probably do the same thing for them, right? So this is why I always try to encourage people, like, what is the other shit that you like? Make that your subject matter. And then when you have a theme in mind, it's easier to choose colors. Like, let's go back to the space theme. Like, oh, hey, I'm really into sci-fi. I really like quotes from sci-fi shows. I like alien themes. Like, I'm just that kind of person. I'm just a kooky space person. Then that tells me, okay, your color theme needs to be cooler. I'm thinking purples and blues and blacks and maybe a little bit of yellow in there for like some pop of color. And then really thinking about, well, how am I going to use these colors? Do I want to have a dark background because of space and then have everything lighter in the foreground? Or do I want to switch it up? Do I want high contrast or do I want low contrast? And really start to think, once you have that subject matter kind of in your mind of the kind of people you're trying to attract, then it becomes so much easier to figure out what that color scheme should be, because you have a goal and then you figure out all the things that go along the way with that goal in mind. The exact same way, hopefully, that you approach a client project. They give you the goals, they give you the content that they want you to make, and then you go ahead and you make better design choices based around those goals. Yay! Goals! I just went on like a tangent there, but I really just want to let that sink in. Yeah, you don't have any, so Sean, you don't have much of anything up there, but I would appreciate your advice. Yeah. You're a logo designer. Yeah, okay. Here, Sean, we'll do you. We'll do a review for you, honey. If you're still here. Oh, he's got the 4 posts. Yeah, I can't really critique this because there's not really much to critique. Your keyboard's fucking pretty. You got a good looking keyboard and lighting system. Are you a streamer? Because this would be really beautiful content to stream. Like if you had a mic on yourself. Oh, you do. You make content. Okay, I could tell. I could just read your caption, but I didn't. This is kind of a weird post. First of all, you put field notes, but it's not a field notes notebook, so that's confusing. And there's no art in it. So if it was like, hey guys, I just went to the art store and I got a new sketchbook, and a new sketchbook means new possibilities, and this is the new artwork that I'm going to try to make, and blah, 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 blah. Like, you could have made it such a thing, and you just wrote field notes with a bunch of hashtags on it. Like, that doesn't make me want to act or engage whatsoever. You're just talking at me. That post is the equivalent of like, hey, I got a sketchbook. So like your friends when you hang out, which I hopefully you're like, you talk a little bit more than that. So for you, I can't really critique it because there's not much content, but I'm glad to see that you had initiative to start an Instagram. You're posting on it. You're trying to go for hand lettering. I mean, this is the only hand lettering work you have on here. Oh, here we go. You got like a poem in here. This is nice. I like these. Some kind of industry that you gravitate towards as a logo designer, right? Because like there might be certain companies that reach out to you that you have no fucking interest at all to work with, right? So for me, when I did logo design, that was originally my business. So before Letter Shop, I was Logo Juice. Oh, Dina. Oh, 2011 Dina. And I work specifically with like creative businesses. So, you know, creating logos for other educational platforms that help artists, or really trying to work more with like coffee shops and like kind of hipstery places that needed and respected good design. Like I would never work for like a technology company creating their logo because my aesthetic is very like handmade and very creative, where like it wouldn't make sense for anyone to hire me to create like a really corporate Helvetica new logo design, right? So also you're only helping yourself by like narrowing down your niche as like an artist as well, because then people know what to hire you for, and you can have like a really nice informational portfolio that allows me, the consumer or client, to really trust you because, hey, like I'm an artist and I'm looking like I have a creative business and I'm looking for a logo designer. I would only hire another designer that would go ahead and has the aesthetic that I'm already looking for, not someone who does corporate logos. So that's something to keep in mind. So I think the first thing is, who are you trying to work for? Because it's a lot easier when you're like, oh, who's my dream client? Oh, it's this person in this industry in the United States. Like, okay, great. Now I can create content and personal projects to try to attract those clients, right? Hello, Dina. What's up? What's up, Fueled by Letters? How are you? You feel like every time you do a new subject, I get big engagement, and then I continue to do it, engagement goes down. What would you say about that? Well, Dara, that's really about like people just like the new. It's like why packaging companies write new all the time, or why Pepsi keeps going back to like new branding, old branding, new branding, old branding, because it's new. People just like new content. So that's why things like the 30-day project or the 365 project, where you have like the same theme for so long, it just dies down after a while. So it does make more sense to be like, hey, I'm doing a new thing every week, so you know you're going to get good engagement on a regular basis. That's just the psychology of how people work. How late am I to the live stream? You're so fucking late. I've been streaming for 28 minutes. I remember Logo Juice. What's up, Jose? What about Hipster Ketchup? Why do you need to bring up all of my failed businesses? Thank you, Dina. I have more calligraphy pieces, but I'm working on my logo design. Sean. Everybody, don't ever, like, social media is such a dumb thing to be like, oh, everything's gotta be perfect. Like, that. No, don't do that. Social media is there for two reasons, right? It's a beta test, right, to see what content people like, and it's a way to grow a following so that way you can sell to them. Those are the fucking two things, right? And a lot of people don't think of it as a beta testing platform. Things like your portfolio, that's the shit that needs to be heavily fucking curated, okay? Like, you look at your website. This whole time I could have just been full screen, but like, my audio's out of sync, so I didn't want you guys to notice. What? My audio is perfect. Shut up, Ringo. But yeah, so you really need to have more of like a quantity versus quality kind of mindset when it comes to Instagram. Like, post your calligraphy. You don't need your fucking logo to be perfect before you start sharing your work. Who fucking told you to do that? That doesn't make any sense. If you have work already, for you to hide it until you have X, Y, and Z completed is really stupid, because you're improving so much every single day. So it could be like by the time you post those old pieces, you're so much better than that, and then you don't like them anymore. And that's just the curse of the creative, right? Everything we make is never reaching our expectations and our goals, and what we want always increases, so we never actually reach the goal in our heads. But at least you just try to think of it as motivation instead of intimidation. Fail quick, fail often. Yeah, you get it. It's perfect. Oh, it's perfectly synced? What? Are you telling me I could have showed you my beautiful face this whole time and you would have been able to get it? Shut up. You inspired me to put together a page just for my artwork to at least start thinking about some of this. Yeah. Yeah, you definitely, for sure. I have a lot of work and I should be ready to fail. Be ready to, you're going to. Like, anytime I do anything new, it's embarrassing. It's fucking embarrassing how often I mess up. Like, literally, and I'm going to a new grocery store that I've never been to. I'm gonna be confused by the weight of the carts, and I'm gonna trip a few times. I'm gonna end up getting caught in the aisle because I'm never aware of how big of a person I truly am. I always get the wrong thing. Like, oh, I like this kind of soy milk. I'll buy the fucking wrong soy milk. It's just annoying. So just be prepared, like, that's just gonna happen. You're bad at it because you haven't been doing it very long. And whoever told you, like, you're magically perfect at the thing that you did the one time, or the second time, or the third time, or even the 100th time, it was probably your mom, because it's bad advice and they're the only ones that love you no matter what. So you can't be whatever you want to be. It just takes time and impatience that a lot of us don't have. You know, no big deal. I can't decide what I like enough to properly curate. I keep wanting to try new things. Kate, that's fine. Your style is going to evolve with you, right? So, like, if you choose a color palette for October, that color palette can totally change come November. You know what I mean? Like, just because you're picking a color palette or a theme or a subject or a person to attract now, it doesn't always have to be that way forever. As human beings, we grow so much as people, especially in our 20s and 30s, I'm finding. Like, I'm a totally fucking different person than I was even 3 months ago. So, of course, my work is going to change with me. You know what I mean? And you just said earlier, not you, but someone else said, like, oh, when I try a new thing, I get the most engagement. So never be afraid to try new things, right? Melts while soaking in this motivation. Yes, you are the cutest. Oh my god, thank you. It's funny because I actually feel more connected to people who talk about their failures and successes because they're real fucking people, probably. People who are like, the first thing I did was amazing. I got immediately hired. I didn't have to send my resume or anything. Those people need to die away from me. I can't relate to them. They're usually very good looking. You know what I'm saying? They haven't worked very hard, or they just know a guy who knows a guy, their dad's rich or something. Fuck those people. Those people can do whatever they want and they'll be successful. The rest of us, we're going for longevity. We may not be the cutest sons of bitches in the world, but our work will constantly evolve and get better over time. Looks fade. Your artwork is just gonna get better, right? I actually went through and cleaned up my Instagram. Nice, Kyle. Cool. I'm into it. I'm excited. All right, so let's do some work. Let's actually do work. Are we excited? Okay. All right. I'm like on crack today. It's I have had a lot of coffee. I had a coffee date. I had sushi for lunch. I'm on fire. Okay, so let me explain my color palette. This is what I did. I thought of all the things that I wanted to do, right? What kind of clients do I want to get? Who am I trying to attract, right? And I look at my feed and I look at my analytics, which I hope you guys have analytics activated for your Instagram. All you need is a Facebook page, a business Facebook page. Why did I say that like I was Italian? A Facebook page. And then connect it to your Instagram and bada bing, bada boom. I'm just rolling with it now. You got it. You got it in the analytics. You can go ahead and look at, okay, what posts have been popular? Why have them been popular? Is it the subject matter? Is it the color scheme? Is it the caption? Is it the time of day? And just honestly, you're posting stuff to Instagram and then you're just figuring out how to do more of what works, right? So I was looking at it. I'm at a point in my life where I'm not necessarily looking for client work and I want to sell original art and I want to sell, I'm going to do passive income and create digital products like courses and stuff, guys. But what I want to do and what I want to say about my personality is I'm fucking loud. I am crass. I am sexy. I am brutally honest and I'm funny. Right? So I wanted to go ahead and almost like, think of it like this. Like, why are you friends with somebody? You're usually friends with someone for 2 reasons. You either like them because they're like you, or you want to be like them. Right? So think of your Instagram as like a friend. Right, guys? And you look at your Instagram, it's like, who would look at my grid and want to be my friend? Right? So sometimes as an artist, that's just your personality or the parts of your personality you don't feel weird showing to people. So that's how I like to describe, like, who do I want to be? Who would I want to be my best friend so I can become a better person? So it's kind of interesting. Like, oh, I want loud people. I want independent women. I cannot talk to anybody who doesn't take their career seriously. It's just not going to work out. and like all these different things. I'm like, okay, well, I want really bright colors, but I also really like pastel colors. And I was like, well, what do I like about pastels? I like them because they're more delicate, right? Not necessarily feminine. The background of my work, and I'll use brighter colors in the foreground. And then I'm always going to use like a black outline, for example, for like my characters and my lettering. And I even like, okay, well, I'm drawing a lot of people lately. I should probably come up with like a skin color palette that I like. Something that, you know, has a wide range of ethnicities in it, but doesn't look so like obvious, like making a black person's skin actually black. I've seen people do that. It's a little weird. Unless it's like a illustration. I'm like, no. Like I wanted to go have a range of like white people skin tones. Something that's a little bit more maybe on the cream side or a little bit red, because I have a really red pigment to my skin, for example. So just really thinking about what am I creating? And then how can I pick a better color scheme to fit the theme of what I'm making, right? And so I went ahead and I made this color palette, and I definitely fucking used reference, and I stole other people's color palettes, and I fucking really tried hard to like take my own spin on it. But I think we came out with something pretty nice, where I have like a couple of different hues from a couple of colors. Like we have a bunch of greens, a bunch of purples, reds, oranges, yellows, blues. We have a range of pastels and skin colors. So I feel good. So if I have something like this, like my piece that I'm working on today, sorry that I stopped talking to you. My anxiety told me you hated me. This tells me like I'm probably going to be using like blues and greens. I'm going for like kind of like an old school horror show type of thing. So I definitely want the lettering to be like a really bright green. I want the background to be, actually for this one, it's going to be darker. So it's probably not going to be a pastel because it's supposed to be like stormy. But I don't know, we'll see what happens. And then I have the skin tone for the girl that I already have picked out. And so that way when I'm filling in these colors, instead of me just like randomly going into the swatch panel of fucking horror, I'm like, this one? No. This one? No. This one? No. Like I already have a wide range of colors to choose from to where it's easy for me to pick colors, but it's not intimidating or limiting, right? It's not so many colors. I'm like, what the fuck colors am I gonna use? Ah! It's like, and it's not like, oh, I have only 3 colors. I guess I better find more reasons to use pink in my work, right? So that's what we have to be thinking about. So if you guys want to come in and hang out with me and ask me more questions and be my friend, please do. I'm going to be working on this piece for the rest of the stream. And then at the end of the stream, we'll do a couple more critiques on social media. How does that sound? Does that sound nice? I'm excited. Margaret, you love me and my advice. That's so nice. Thank you so much. Yay for courses. Yay for courses, guys. Yes. All right. I want to give you a link. I want to give you a link so you can be cool and you can get all the information that you need to be cool on the internet. Make some fucking money so you don't have to beg from your mommy to pay rent. Okay. You like it? You guys like my jingles? All right. Shh. Where are you? Come here. Come here. Come on. Where are you? I post a lot on fucking Patreon, guys. Become a patron. Come on, come to the dark side of the patron. Okay. Guys, if you're interested in learning more about the Instagram grids, we're doing a 30-day challenge course that starts October 1st. You'll only be able to get a spot for students in 6 hours. It's a 6-hour window from noon to 6 p.m. on October 1st because the first class, live class, starts at 6. Go ahead and click on that link and check out all of the curriculum. It's 30 days of Instagram posts where you will be posting every single day on Instagram. No, that doesn't mean you have to make an illustration every day. It just means you gotta post every day. Are you excited? Are you ready to take this shit to the next level? Are you ready to stop feeling like a failure on Instagram? Let's do this. Let's do this in a way that's fun and not tacky and like, oh, did you know you need to use hashtags? So many Instagram courses just make me want to throw up in my mouth. It's gross. She's like, oh, did you know this is how you upload stories and you can add stickers? I'm like, what the fuck is this? Am I like a kindergarten class for Instagram right now? This is not fucking helpful. I hate it. I love watching you and hearing your advice because I feel like we're so similar. Yay, similar. Will you be able to watch them back if you're not able to watch it live? Yes. Okay, so the 30-day class is it's $250, which is the cheapest it's ever going to be. After that, it's going to be $500. It's kind of like a beta test for live streaming courses on Patreon. The good news is we're going to be doing 2 lectures a week So it's going to be Monday and Thursday, I think, are the days. We're going to be doing it. It's called night school, so you'll be able to take it after work, after the kids have been put to bed, after you've made dinner. So when you're like, all right, let's do this. It's meant for people who are either trying to become a full-time artist or they're just trying to be a little bit more professional with their aesthetic and art. So we have a wide range of people taking the class. It's like people who are just hobbyists that just don't even know how to use Instagram. And then we have people who've been using it for a while, but they just feel really frustrated and they feel like they're not getting anywhere. And I hate that the advice that people give is just like, use better hashtags, or have you tried stories, or what about IGTV? And they don't think like, no, your content's bad. Like, your art's bad. I'm sorry. Like, I know it's hard to hear, but sometimes your art's bad, and that's okay. But unless you have like someone who's giving you a constructive criticism, like, oh, try this color, try this theme, try going after this client, look at these pages, look at this inspiration, you're never going to change. You're just going to keep doing the wrong shit over and over again, and you're going to feel like a failure because you are, and that sucks. But I want to help you succeed, and I think I'm fun and informative, and I think it'll be a good time. Yeah. Is that noon PST? No, it'll be like, I forgot the time off the top. It's all in that link. Just look at the link, guys. Help a sister out. Oh, I saw that. Like, I looked at the link. It's fine. I got this. Okay, so even though I have like a shit ton of more detail in this piece, I'm just going to go ahead and kind of fill it in and block in some colors. Because I think like something that makes me feel really like, I don't know, better about my work is that I feel like everything is just so fucking detailed and has to be perfect all the time. And for me, I just need to get more comfortable, just be like, it's gonna be shit until it's not. That's just how it's gonna be. So for me, I like to go ahead and put in some colors and just kind of block them out. Like, I don't even care for the most part that it's like outside the lines or anything. I'm just like, whatever. Look, I already got my color palette. Oh my God. Fucking life goals. Oh, that's a pretty. See? This worked out. So I'm just using the magic wand tool for the easy stuff. And then you always gotta hit select, modify, expand, or else you get that weird kind of like white outline on your text, which is gross. No one likes it. When did I forget you? I didn't mean to forget you. I'm sorry. I was like, I'm all about the tittle. Fuck the stem. All right. Boop. No, come here. All right. Good talk. And I think this is especially helpful with just like quickly blocking it in. Some of these like aren't enclosed. So it's like, okay, clowns that are purple. There we go, purple. Killing it. Some of my best work is rough. I know. It's kind of like the same reason why all sketches, like all pencil sketches ever, just look better. Have you noticed that? Like if you do like a rough pencil sketch of any illustration, of any piece of lettering, whatever, it always comes out better. Like you like it better than the final. And I think it's because there's so much like possibility and it's not really refined, and because you know that it looks like a person fucking made it, and that's what makes it so interesting. Because it can go anywhere, and that's what I like about it. But it pisses me off as like an artist. Especially like on Instagram, because Instagram favors photos. No shit. It's a fucking photography platform, right? So like my in-process shots of me like working on my iPad, or like, you know, me sketching something out in my sketchbook, those posts always do better and get better engagement than like the final static images that I upload that took 18 hours to finish. I'm not mad. It's just, you know what I mean? Like you got to make good work, and you can definitely post more often if you're just showcasing your process throughout the way too. It's like an extra little tip for you guys. Like you can post pictures of yourself. You can post other people's work. Like just because you're an artist doesn't mean you can't curate other people's content. I don't know why we're all like, oh, everything's got to be a portfolio. Like, no, it doesn't. There are options. You can post old work. You can just like change the colors of an old piece to make it new again, to repost it. Like there's so many options, guys. All right, let me color in. These are my coloring skills. I want you to be so impressed by them. Are you impressed? I can feel your gasps from here. My purple clouds. I could just magic wand it, but I don't want to. I have some stuff on Instagram that is just sketches. Yeah, did it do well? I love doing digital work, but I always get better engagement on paper shit. Is that because of the algorithm? It has nothing to do with the algorithm. It just has to do with like the psychology of people. Like think of it like the reason process shots, like, God damn it, I did it on the same layer. Why didn't you tell me? You guys, damn it. This is why you can't live stream and work at the same time. I'll just use the lasso tool. Don't you worry about it. I don't need you. Just kidding. No, I need you. I need your friendship and your constant attention. Please. All right, let's make this bitch purple. Boom. See, it's not colored in. Good enough for me. I like it. Try to get some colors penciled in here. Yeah, sorry, I'll come back to it. So photography platform. Because like the majority of the people you follow are artists, right? So it makes sense that the majority of the people that follow you are also artists, right? What kind of content do artists like? Process, education, tutorials, right? So it makes sense why it does well. And again, Instagram is a photography-based website. So if you take a picture versus a static image, it's going to do better. Not because of the algorithm. That's just the fucking app that you're on. Like, if you post a photo of a process shot on something like on Dribble or Behance, it probably wouldn't do as well as if you had posted a static image because of the audience that is catered to that platform. Right? We have to put like our marketing hats on here and really start to think like, okay, who is on this platform? Who is following me? Because a lot of you guys have made the mistake of only trying to attract other artists. And I get why. It's because it makes you feel good. It's an easy win. It helps you, have a sense of community in your work. Authority is really important in like an art industry. But at the same time, like those people are very unlikely to give you money. That's the thing, right? Are they going to get you paid? Are you going to be able to pay your rent with your audience? If the answer is no, then you're targeting the wrong audience. All right. I think this yellow would be sexy. And look, it's like all my colors already magically match. What? What? It's like, I don't even have to do, it's so nice, guys. I can't tell you how much having a color palette is just the shit. Highly recommend it. And just try to think of like a larger color palette. I mean, the bigger question is like, who are you targeting? What are you trying to say? What's the theme of your work? And then you can create the color palette, but just having something that just makes sense with your work. Or if there's like an artist you follow that has a color palette you like, start with that and it can evolve over time. But it's so much nicer like, hey, this is the month of blue. This is the month of red. Like you could totally do that too. I feel like the lettering community is the only community that is so free with information. I don't know about that. I've been told by artists in other fields that I shouldn't give away all my tips and tricks. No. People who don't give their tips and tricks are people who have low confidence, and they know that if those are the people who are like, oh, if I give all my tips and tricks away, then these people are gonna beat me. Like, wow. If you really think just by telling someone how you draw the letter A is gonna make them take your job, like maybe you shouldn't be a professional and you're not gonna do very well. Like, I've been teaching my entire career and it has not hurt me at all. It has only helped me in my business grow. Like, teaching is the reason why I've gotten so popular. I've gotten authority in the industry. I have a loyal fucking following. I've always been able to have passive income because of education. It made me surpass people who had been in the lettering industry for like years, even before lettering became a thing, just because I was actually like using social media and blogging and like knew what SEO was and all this stuff. And it's never fucking hurt me. So that makes me think like, you're not a very good artist. If you think giving away a few tips, people are going to take your job. Wow. Like, maybe this ain't the right industry for you. Like, tough love, dude. Yeah, you've been so hesitant about posting so many process shots. Well, like, why? There's no reason to be hesitant. And also, like, no one's going to be able to, like, perfectly figure out what you do just by seeing a process post. I make all my money from wedding decor, but I hate posting it because my actual art is so much more than me and colorful. Dara, you need 2 Instagram accounts, dude. You just need, if you have 2 different audiences, you need 2 different Instagram accounts. That's just what you need to do. I'm gonna make this girl pink. She's gonna be my pink lady. My pink, adorable little lady. Now I gotta hit fucking... Alright. Boop. Boop. Oh my god, all my colors match. It's so nice. I'm totally stealing this, like, lasso tool method with, and I think I'll give her... She has green hair. Give her green hair. That way she matches. She matches. Let's just plug and play. And I have some, like, hair that's, like, not really in here, but I don't really care. I'll just get it in there. And definitely having, like, an iPad Pro and Apple Pencil. That for sure helps. 100%. I feel like if I didn't have my iPad Pro, I would have literally not been able to do like a lot of client projects that were just pretty intense. Look, my colors more, they're so matchy. Yeah, you want to practice coloring with some of your drawings. Do you have workbooks like that? Oh, like coloring workbooks? No. My boo was getting me a tablet. Oh, that's so nice. I love it. I love your tough love. Good, because it's the only kind of love I give. Yeah, you need 2 IG pages. Maybe 20. I have 3. So, whatever. I don't know, like, if you're wanting to make, like, I don't know, like, I literally make, like, really sexual content and I put it on a completely different platform now. But now I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna put it on Lettershop. I don't care. Yeah, you made Instagram for your wedding stuff last month, but it's so lonely. It took 6 to look at the 60 followers. Yeah, just make a new account, buddy. I have 2 IGs for my, your aerials and shows, and then your art and design stuff. It helps, yeah. Well, for those of you who are trying to manage, like, multiple accounts, you really, seriously, you need to be using some sort of software to make it a lot easier on yourself. Like I've tried them all. I tried Hootsuite back in the day when Hootsuite was the only fucking social media guy out there. And then Buffer was like my shit for a long time. And then I used that app called Preview, which is literally just an app, and it worked really well. Like, it allows you to, like, really plan your social media, and it'll schedule a few of them for you automatically, but that's mostly like an API thing from Instagram. If it's like a video or a multiple slide, you have to, like, manually post it. That's just because of Instagram's rules, because they just want you to work for it. And that worked really well, but my phone broke. And then I realized, just because I had an account with Preview, which I thought was just the stupidest fucking thing ever, that all of my, like, scheduled posts were gone. Like, it just saves it natively to your phone. It doesn't save it to the account. And I was like, okay, that's a problem. And I lost like 20 posts. I was so pissed. So then now I'm using what's called Later, which I know you know what it is, because so many artists, you'll see like link in bio, like /Lettershop. And for that functionality, it's because they're using Later. Later is really nice because it gives you like hashtag suggestions. You know, same thing, will automatically post your work for you, gives you a little bit stronger analytics. It actually gives you, again, a preview of what your grid will look like, so that way you can make sure you're putting like, okay, I'm going to put a bright piece next to a dark piece or something like that. Or like, I want to make sure I'm not using too much blue this week or whatever. So I'm weird when it comes to drawing my characters and stuff. Like, I don't go outside the lines. Like, I kind of go over them like this. For the hairs that are kind of sticking out. I just think it looks cute. Like, who says I have to perfectly color my shit? You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna let other people dictate my art skills and my rules. I'll do whatever the fuck I want. Yes, what software? Yeah, you gotta get that. I recommend out of all of them Later. Later's my favorite by far. I use it for Women of Illustration, Weedagoff, my newest account, and Which is just so fun to say, we dick off. It's like, is she saying we dick off? Is that some like German man's last name? There's so many options. And it's just really easy to maintain. And I literally, like, I plan all of my content a week in advance. So technically everything that you see on Instagram, for example, is a week old. I do that very much on purpose. Because so that way I can actually like see what my grid's gonna look like, and I can like properly plan for it. I just want you to see her ear a little bit, not too much though. And it just really helps me out. And what I do is I literally just take Monday, like Monday is my social media day. And that's when I'll go ahead and I'll curate all the content that's going to go on all of my accounts that week. And now I've been taking paid promotions for Women of Illustration. And for those of you who don't know what that is, Women of Illustration is a web series that I created about almost a year ago, where I interview different female illustrators to help create educational content, just like this one. There's a podcast on iTunes. You can check the web series right here on YouTube. And then there's I have to burp. I was like 3 burps. It was weird. And then there's a Instagram for Women of Illustration, and people are starting to use the hashtag Women of Illustration so I can give them an opportunity to be featured. And we've gotten like 20,000 followers in such a short amount of time. Like, it took me like 6 years or something to get 20,000 followers on my Instagram account. And then Women of Illustration, it was like, it's gonna take 3 months. I was like, okay. So since I've started accepting paid advertisement, like other artists who want to get featured versus just waiting in line for using the hashtag, that's been really nice. Not only as like an additional source of revenue, but you know, it's always like guaranteed content that's curated, which is really nice. And you have one for your 2 cats. Oh, you're one of those people who has an Instagram for their cat. Love. Later is great. So is the one I mentioned Unum? I've never heard of this. Unum gives analytics too. Sweet, thanks, Kyle. Yeah. Yeah. So aside from just like reaching, I guess, like new followers, like what would you guys say like is some of your bigger struggles with Instagram that I can kind of help you out? Look at that smexy hair, guys. She's killing it. All right, what kind of background should we give her? So I want to give her a dark background. Blue might be a little crazy, but let's just do it anyways. Fuck it. Okay. We gotta try. How will we know? I kind of like it. Oh. I think it's kind of good. All right. I'm gonna try a bunch of really weird colors here. All right. What about purple? Yeah. So we're just gonna keep that for a while. And I think her shirt should be like yellow, right? Because there's yellow in the lightning. Just so we can really piece this bitch together. And then I gotta trace her shadows because I don't remember what they are. And the thing I like to do with Photoshop too is I'll go ahead and just start a new layer. I'll color overlay and just select the color that I want. Like in this case, it's yellow. And then I'll use the lasso tool and I'll fill it. So that way if I want to change the color later, it's just really easy. Or if I'm like going back and forth between layers, like how I am now, like, oh, I just roughed in the clouds. I want to be able to just click on the clouds and start drawing without having to be like, oh, I have to reselect with the color picker the right color, that kind of thing. I just think it's so much easier. All right, let's grab her t-shirt. Boop. Get that going. Yeah, I love it. These are good colors. I feel good about this. Now I can start to like detail the fuck out of this thing. Okay, biggest struggles. Are we ready? Are we ready? Sadina, thank you so much. Yes, I am streaming. I'm streaming. Oh, I don't often stream for free though. That's the thing. I stream all the time. I stream all the time for my patrons. Not too often for free on YouTube because my shit's worth money. Okay, so we got knowing what to write for the caption. Okay, getting comments on my work. Okay, so I'll do it in order. So getting comments on my work so I can go on like a spree while drawing. Okay, so getting comments on your work is, I mean, I guess captions and comments really go hand in hand, right? Like you have to give people a reason to comment. Like it seems really obvious. It's because it is. And a lot of people, like a lot of really bad marketers will just be like, just ask them questions. You just gotta ask more questions. I'm like, well, yeah, of course. Are you cool? They're licking each other. They're really cute right now. Just ask them questions. I hate that shit. Yes, of course, asking an actual fucking question makes sense, but it really starts with creating relatable content. So like, if you notice with like my babe meme series that I'm doing, it's really all like, hey, women, I have an audience that's for women. I'm doing memes that I personally resonate with, and then like making them my own, and then who would have thought other people relate to it too. So I think the main way to get comments is to actually treat your captions as if they were like a blog post. And there's a thing out there right now that says like Instagram is the new blog post, where people are getting more comfortable and like long form captions actually do a lot better than short form captions, which just pisses me off. Like, what? All right, I need to raise. There we go. Hold on. This one's got to be like higher. There we go. That's what I wanted. I want that shit in the foreground. So, okay, now you're not letting me do it. Don't you be like this to me. Okay. So when you're trying to figure out your captions, it's really just like, okay, how can I give more information about this piece? Don't fucking tell me like, oh, I played with colored pencils today. Like, here's my sketchbook. Like, that's really annoying. Like, if you had a friend call you up, right? And you're like, I don't know, there's like, hey, I bought a thing today. Cool. You would think like a story is going to follow, right? Like, oh, I went to the mall today. I got this new sketchbook, so I really want to go ahead and start doing more of this kind of work. You would have a fucking story. You wouldn't just be like, bought a sketchbook, star emoji. Like, that would never fucking happen. Like, that would be really weird. I wouldn't be your friend. That's really annoying. So what you need to be doing with your captions is thinking about why you made it. Like, let's go back to like story writing 101. Who, what, when, where, how. We're really, really good about the what and the how. Some of us don't really go for the how. We're like, oh, I use this kind of materials. I used my iPad. I did this. But we're not talking about the why. Why did you make this piece? It doesn't even have to be a good answer. It doesn't always have to be this like artsy fartsy explanation of like, oh, I felt I wanted to draw this for the cause and it represents blah. Like, no, that's not what I'm fucking saying. I mean, like, why did you make it? Is because that's how you were feeling that day? Were you trying to expand on a skill set? Like, talk to me. Like, let me get to know you. Because then people can go ahead and be like, oh, this reminds me when I did this. It's just like a normal fucking conversation. If you're talking about a story, people are going to do what in the conversation? They're going to be like, oh, that reminds me of this time. And then that's how you riff. And that's how you fucking have a conversation with someone. But if you're just talking at people and being like, I got a new shirt. I don't really know how to riff off of that. Like, I got a new shirt like 6 months ago. And I'm really bad about clothes, like, and I don't know how to dress myself. It's really sad. Then that's like conversation starter, not so much like, I bought this thing. I love rainbows. Like, those are just statements. Like, I need stories, not statements. Pretty much is the moral of the story. Can you tell I get frustrated with a lot of content? I do. And I unfollow a lot of people on a daily basis. I'm like, nope. I don't like it. You get really picky. And again, you should be trying to reach an audience of not just artists, because we artists, we're picky fuckers, man. You dig the purple? Cool. I'm glad. Okay, you just started your art Instagram account. Been trying to figure out what I should do for the profile picture and such. Okay. So, I personally feel that when you have a personal Instagram, that you should always have the profile picture be a picture of your face. I just think it makes sense, right? Because honestly, I have a really fucking hard time remembering people's names, but I have a much easier time remembering people's faces. And for the most part, that can be said to be true for most people. Like, what's that guy's name? If I saw him, I'd recognize him. But if I saw his username, I wouldn't. So a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll use their art, right? Makes sense. They use their art as their profile picture. But then they update it. And it's a different piece of art. So what happens a lot when you do that is when you update your profile picture to a different piece of artwork that may not be in like your specific style, maybe you don't even have your style figured out yet, then people are going to see your post and just immediately unfollow you because they don't know who the fuck you are. And also, like, if you think about like, oh, I really want to take art seriously, I want to go to conventions, I want to meet people, I want to be known in this industry, then you need to show your fucking face. I need to be able to go to a conference and be like, Susan, because I recognize your profile picture. You know what I mean? So that's what I think. Take it or leave it. That's my personal opinion. And I think the only time it's acceptable to have like your logo as your profile picture is if you actually own a business that's run by several people. Then I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Like you're a business, you have a bunch of people, maybe you have a social media manager. It's not like the social media manager is going to put their face as the profile picture. That would be super weird. So that's what I think. And it doesn't even have to be like this like perfect like headshot or something. Like you can fucking like take a picture of yourself with your cell phone and doodle all over it. Then you have your art and yourself. Bada bing bada boom. Perfecto mundo profile. Delicious. All right, I need to start. What time is it? I have to meet my friend in like 30 minutes, guys. This is something else I like to do with my letters. Boop. Drop shadow height. But what I'm actually going to do, here, I'll do some line work while we're doing this. How about that? How about that, guys? Because I'm really excited about this piece. And the colors, like, mwah, magnifique, perfecto mundo. All right, make sure this is the same line weight. Is it? Nope. What about now? Nope. What about now? Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna add some slime. No, it's too thin. Damn it, Dina! There's something you thought of that I really want to start creating. I just don't think it's been done, but I'm not sure, and I'm not gonna say it in case someone else steals my idea. Oh my god. Jennifer, few by letters. Nothing. No one's gonna steal your idea. And also, if that's like the way that you're thinking about it, like, oh, I don't want to tell anybody because someone's gonna steal it. It's more of like, the second you do the thing, what's to stop someone from stealing it then? You just gotta make sure like your content that you make, whatever it is, it's so good that even if someone did steal it and did their own interpretation of it, like your work would still be on solid ground. So believe in yourself a little bit more. Okay? But if you don't want to share it, it's cool. You can DM me later if you want. I love getting video DMs from you guys. That's how I've been feeling with some of my ideas, yeah. Yeah, turn to a book. I love it. I follow 4K people as well. You do? I don't even know how many people I follow. Can someone tell me? This face on all my social media profiles. Yeah. Yeah, Kyo's really good about his profile. That's what I really like about Kyle. Although I will say this, Kyle, I saw you in real life once and I didn't recognize you. So like I saw a picture of someone tagged of you and I was like, Kyle, like I recognize the name, I didn't recognize the face. So I think it's important when you take a picture of yourself, you take a picture of yourself that actually looks like yourself. So like if you're fat, for example, I'm fat. I don't know if you guys knew that. I'm 250 pounds. I'm a fatty. I work it and I look really good because I'm Puerto Rican. Or I'm confident. I don't really know. But if I take a picture of myself, like I look like the same person, but sometimes if you take it like too high, you look like a totally different person. That always bugs me a little bit. I'm like, just be yourself. Like if you're fat, there's nothing wrong with being fat, man. Just own it. Like if you're slutty, there's nothing wrong with being slutty. Show your titties. I don't fucking care. Sex work is work. Just own it. Just fucking own it. You got a weird style and you like to dress up as a doll? Cool. Take a picture of it. Own it. Like, I just have a really weird perspective. I think you should update your picture, Kyle. You should update your picture to like this. This is what you should update it to. This is going to be my next legit profile picture. Because I think it's really funny. That's really... There's no other... I just think it'd be fun. Like, when I took my profile picture now, which is like this. I got like a smushy face. I'm wearing no makeup. Not trying. And I'm just smushing my face being weird. And I've gotten such a good reaction from that as a profile picture. So, I don't know. I'm just saying, you don't have to be professional. You don't have to like try to look your best or whatever the fuck. Just take a picture of yourself. It's really not a big deal. Mm-hmm. Can you tell I'm very much like, do not give a fuck? I love it. See, the portrait of yourself, if it actually looks like you, but if it's like, you know, like there's certain people that can get away with it. Like for Nerd, for example, very popular illustrator. She has a Patreon that I really love. Great aesthetic, great YouTube channel. She has such a well-known aesthetic that I think she pulls it off, right? In her cartoon, she has like a more cartoony version. And that, you know, it doesn't look like her, like, because it's not realistic by any means, but I still recognize it as her. So I don't know. I think if you're not like super popular, you don't have like an aesthetic yet, I just think it's better. Just take a picture of yourself. Like there is this one girl, of course I don't remember her name because there's no face. It's like an illustration. It might be you. I don't remember. That it actually does look like her. And I think that's a good one. I get anxiety about my voice and face on camera. I would post more stories with me talking, but I need to get over it. Kyle, especially stories, like it'll be gone in literally 24 hours. Like who fucking cares? Do you see the stories I take? I don't even put makeup on. I don't put filters. I have so many acne scars, guys. I know now I'm wearing makeup because I was meeting up with a girl who was prettier than me earlier today. And I felt like, I want to be pretty too. And it was like a choice. But like for the most part, like I don't feel like I need to like look all schmeckshy for the internet. Because then, I don't know. Then I feel like I'm getting gussied up for the wrong reasons. Because like there's nothing unprofessional about not wearing makeup. I don't know. It's a weird, then like my feminism brain's like kicking in. Like, you don't have to wear makeup to be professional. Men don't have to wear makeup. Like it's this whole like inner turmoil conversation I'm having in my head, but you know what I mean? Like, fuck it, just go for it. You're a dude, you have a face, other people have faces, you should show your face more. Yeah, update your face. Yeah, what's up, Nicole? Yeah, I think updating your profile picture every year is a really good idea. I'm gonna add more slime in here. I always have to draw, like when I draw like melty letters, you'll notice that like I drew the shape and I just kind of like wobbled it and then I draw the drips. I do that so that that way my drips actually look like drips. Like this one I'm erasing doesn't look like a drip. Like there's a very specific shape a drop makes. Like, so if you ever have problems with your drops, I'm just going to show you what you would do. You draw a straight line and then you draw a circle and then you go whoop, and then you draw an hourglass. And that's how you draw like a really nice drop. If you're really trying to get like that perfectly dribbly, droppily kind of look, you can, I mean, anytime you like break it down, things always come out better. Like I have a couple, I think I'm actually going to redo a lot of these because they're kind of like falling and gravity doesn't typically go sideways. So they should be more like, they should be more straight, I guess. I live for stories. Me too. I love doing stories. I'm a big fan. Another thing I don't really understand yet with Instagram yet is how many times you can use yet in a sentence. No, is what to do for stories. Maybe I'm getting old. I mean, I'm getting old. I'm 30. I feel like I'm officially not cool anymore. Even though I will always be millennial because that's just what like my generation is called. I still feel like, I always feel like the word millennial just meant like in your 20s. Like even though I know that's not what it means, but like, you know what I mean? I don't know. Does anyone get that? Okay. Oh, another reason you have a story. All right. I am messing up these drip drops. I'm just going to move on to the next thing. And I'm going to peace out here in a few minutes. Here, let's just zoom out and then we'll answer a couple questions. And I'll finish this when I get home and I'm drunk later or something. But I love my iPad, guys, so much.
Yeah.
All right, we're wrap it up. Just me and you. Just me and you guys. I'm going to meet up with my friend. I'm really excited about it. Okay, so stories, right? Okay, we're talking about stories. I got this. I'm focusing. I can focus on things. I'm doing it. Okay. Okay, the trick to stories, right? More important than stories is story highlights, because it's like a highlight reel of what you offer as a artist. I think the best way to think about stories is to not think about them at all, honestly. I think it's just anything that has to do that's related to your business is what you should take a story of. And like, I think it's okay to occasionally do things like take pictures of your food, or if you're hanging out with friends, like take a little thing, because you're a fucking person. You're obviously, hopefully not like a total workaholic and that's all that you are and do. I think we're also our hobbies and our friends and our family. And I think that's fine to show as long as you kind of sprinkle it in. I always feel like people's profile should be 80% professional in content and portfolio, with like 20% kind of little fucking dressing and like some spices, some Dina spice, right? Sprinkle your personality in there. So like for me, I'm a full-time freelancer. So literally anything I do throughout the day, like my working day, I can put a story. Like, oh, hey, I actually woke up before 9 o'clock today. Like life's like freelance goals. Even though that sounds personal, it's still very relatable to other freelancers. So it's a good story. Or like showing my process as I'm working, or talking about a new thing that I learned, or asking people questions to better understand the kind of content that I can make for them or for a course or something. Once you start to get in the habit of making stories, it's a lot easier. And then once you're doing that for a while, then you make story highlights. And story highlights kind of serve as like almost like a website navigation. You can think of it like that. Like when you go to a website, you have a home page, you have a portfolio page, you have an about page, you have a contact page. So really similar. So like for me, it's like, what are the main things I want people to know about my brand? And because I have more than 10,000 followers, I'm able to have links in my stories, which is super fucking cool. Highly recommend you guys all get 10,000 followers, because you get more than one link, right? Good luck. I'd love to help you with that next month. Is we're like, okay, I have new things on Redbubble, so that's going to be story highlights of like different pieces that are on shirts and mugs and posters. And I make a new workbook every month for lettering adventures. Okay, let me showcase the workbooks. And then I have one for fun that's just Ringo and Roxy, because they're really fucking adorable dogs. These guys, so cute. You guys are the cutest. You're the cutest baby. Yeah, you are. I love you. And I just want to take pictures of them all day long. So I think that's a really good way to do it. Like, because some people don't always even like scroll down and look at your portfolio. Sometimes they just go straight to the highlights. Something to keep in mind. You get the most engagement from your stories? Yes. People say they follow me just for them. That's great. I show like behind the scenes. I show my life outside of art and just to be weird and me. Exactly. I find myself like anytime I'm like cursing, or I don't know, I guess the word is be myself. Like, oh, this is how I'm feeling, especially if I'm having a struggle or I'm being anxious on the internet. Those are always the stories that relate the most. And the best news about stories is before the algorithm changed, again, stories actually used to help boost your pictures in your profile. But now what it does is Instagram's so focused on trying to show your friends in your feed more than anyone else. And this can kind of get complicated once you're officially like a brand and you have a business profile. You're not really seen as like a friend, you're shown as a business. But when people are DMing you, right? Because you're talking about earlier, like, how do I get more comments? Like, the people who are always commenting on your stuff, always liking your stuff, they're the people that are going to see your content first. And the same can be said for the people who DM you. Now, just because someone sees your story, that doesn't really help your interaction. That doesn't tell Instagram that you're particularly close with this person. But if they slip into your DMs and you have like a little bit of a conversation, then that tells the algorithm, okay, maybe they are friends. That means I should show that person's content to them more often. So stories is definitely something you guys can take advantage of. You can even use hashtags in your stories. You can use up to 10 and actually hide it behind like a graphic or a GIF or something to help rank on the Explore page. There's things you can do. I'm full of tips. I got so many tips. I can't even talk about all the tips. That's why I have a 30-day Instagram challenge course starting October 1st. I hate being called a millennial. I'm not a fan of it because millennial just means like lazy internet dweller. That's what I think when I hear the word millennial. All right, later. Like every Friday? Yeah. Need to add more there. Yeah, Redbubble. Yeah, I only have one on there. Finally sold something there. Nice. Will this be viewable after the stream is over? Yeah. It will be. It's public. It's public for all of YouTube and people who have the YouTube link to see. And because I've decided that I no longer want to really do like edited videos. Like I'll do it every once in a while, mostly for promotional purposes, not really educational. Just because first of all, YouTube values watch time more than views. And hey, I've had 11 viewers since I started, and I still have 11 viewers now. So that means I got a bunch of watch time because we've been streaming for an hour and 22 minutes and 32 seconds. So if you want to make content on YouTube, all you gotta do is do a live stream, y'all. You don't even have to edit nothing. You just be like, hello. And I use OBS, or you can just use Google Hangouts, whatever you want. Yeah, everyone put their handles. Don't put links because it'll yell at you. It'll be mean. Go ahead and put your handles, and everyone can follow each other and check out your work. And do it. Do it. Oh, Australian Shepherds? Yes. They're my Aussies. Roxy, come here. I love you. Alright, guys. Oh, I know. This is Roxy. And me and her really appreciate you guys being here during today's live stream and hanging out with me. Right? You're excited about it? Oh, I know. And seriously, it means a lot when you guys like comment on my stuff on Instagram and send me DMs. I actually don't have a ton of friends. I'm definitely like a workaholic. It's really bad. At least I get to spend lots of time with these dudes. Right? So definitely, if you guys got questions, hit me up. I'm not that popular yet where I can't respond. Just give me a day. I usually can respond within 24 hours. Big fan of the video chats. If you guys just want to go ahead and send me video DMs, I really like those. I hate typing. Spelling's really difficult for me, especially as a hand lettering artist. So I just like to hit that record button. Yes, exchange IGs. Nice. I love it. You guys are the best. All right, guys, definitely stay tuned for that 30-day Instagram challenge course that's starting October 1st. I'm going to put the link in the chat once again so you guys can go ahead and check out that curriculum. It's a pretty in-depth course. It's 4 hours of lecture and critique a week. Yeah, you'll have special access to a Discord group where you guys can constantly share each other's work and keep each other accountable while you're on the 30-day challenge. She's like, am I just going to stay here forever? Yeah, you are. And I hope you guys will be interested enough to want to do this with me. It's going to be the cheapest it ever will be. It's $250 for the entire month, and the next time I do this course, it'll be $500. So get on it. And tickets are only going to be available from noon to 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on October 1st. So even if we don't even hit 50 people, let's say people were just lazy and it took a long time, the spots will close officially at 6 no matter what. All right. Roxy, are you ready to go get and hang out with friends? Me too. Me too. I never get to leave the house, and I got to leave the house twice today. All right, guys, thanks so much for hanging out. I hope this live stream was helpful and just fun. I'm a big fan of doing live streams that are like educational. I get to do a little bit of work and also hang out with you as a person. I think it's a good deal. All right, guys, I'll see you later. Goodbye, my friends. Bye, guys. See you next time. Definitely hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and leave a comment, and do all the things. All right, bye.